Hey friends, hi again. So today I want to share a very funny story with you. But before that, let me tell you that I have limb girdle muscular dystrophy and I have limited range of motion. My muscles keep on getting weaker by the year. So right now, my physical condition allows me to walk inside the house without support if I am completely rested. But if I have any pain or if I think that I can lose my balance or if I'm tired, then I use a walking stick. But if I am stepping outside of the house, then I generally use a wheelchair, which is a motorized one. Now, the funny part is that recently I went to watch a movie inside a mall and I was using my motorized wheelchair. I went to shop for a shoe, and while I was sitting on my wheelchair, the salesperson made me try on a shoe. But because I can still get up and I can walk a bit, I walked around the wheelchair by taking the support of a wheelchair because I was tired by sitting for too long. So as soon as I started walking, I could see the amazement on that person's face. It was quite funny to me and still quite funny, but for some people, this can be a very strange experience when people stare at them, when people constantly, look at them and try to figure what's happened with that person. Earlier, I was too focused on myself a few years ago, but now I can really see people staring at me. They try to look at my legs, they try to figure out if I have a broken leg or something. And, because I'm young, I am not old, I don't have any visible injuries. So, why am I using a wheelchair? And it's actually not their fault. People don't know about the disabilities or the different kinds of medical conditions that, because of which people use wheelchairs. And if somebody is using a wheelchair, people generally assume that they are confined to a wheelchair. That means they cannot walk, they cannot do anything of their own. Of course, which is wrong, because there are certain disabilities and medical conditions which allows people to get up from the wheelchair. And just because I can get up from a wheelchair, that does not mean that I am a fraud, or some people might be thinking that why am I taking up the space in the PWD parking area if I'm going to my office. Then people might have those kind of questions, or those kind of concerns. But really, I mean, if I ask you, why would a person use a wheelchair if they don't need to, right? Now let me give you some examples. If a person is born with cerebral palsy, that means there is a brain issue. That means the brain is really not helping coordinate the function of your muscles, your limbs. And then probably the person can lose their balance, or the person might not be able to control their movements. Then a person might use a wheelchair. But that does not mean a person with a less degree of cerebral palsy cannot walk. There are certain people who can walk, but there are certain people who cannot walk at all, right? Again, there can be different kinds of disorders, there can be different kind of reasons because of which people use wheelchairs. And we should not be judgmental about this. So this is a very small suggestion to people who are around us, that let's not judge people about how they are looking or how they're getting up from a wheelchair. Let's just accept people with empathy and understand more about disabilities if we can. But if we cannot, then let's just leave them be, right? Frankly speaking, if I would have been at that person's place a few years ago, even I wouldn't have understood about why a person is using a wheelchair when the person can still get up, right? Because we're not taught as much about disabilities. And that is the reason why I'm creating these videos, right? So that we can build more inclusive society around us. And if you want to join me in this effort, please subscribe to my channel and spread and share this video ahead. Thank you.